Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Giving it a few minutes. Let's see. All right, so let's do a little recap. Yesterday, market sold off. So NQ is the tech sector, and we sold off yesterday. We couldn't hold above this 16,758 level. Overnight, as you guys can see, during the Asian and most of the London session, we sold off. Now today in the afternoon, we do have Fed minutes today. So that's going to be later this afternoon. So those minutes will affect the markets, whether it continues to move down or whether we get a nice little bounce. Now I'm planning to be out of all positions, all trades, before that data is released. Excuse me. All right, and then this morning we had some economic data that came out this morning at 8:30. Seemed pretty positive because the market did bounce a little bit off of the lows. Looking to see if we can hold these lows for a possible quick long scalp. Ideally, I would be targeting any longs to the 16,817 area. Why, you ask? Well, the market has sold off tremendously in the last few days, and I'm looking for some sort of bounce at least back up to the 50 EMA, which lines up with my 16,817 area, right? Now, if we can get above 16,659, that would further confirm the long for me, and I will look to add a position. I know we have about 30 minutes left, so what I want to do is I want to see NASDAQ hold above yesterday's low, right? Yesterday's prior daily low, which is 16,621.22. And when I look at ES, all right, so ES sold off as well, but ES has been respecting yesterday's low, right? So it hasn't made a new low like the NASDAQ has. And then when I look at the Dow Jones, same thing. I mean, the Dow Jones is nowhere near yesterday's low. So that's a form of divergence where ES and Dow haven't made new lows, but the NASDAQ has. So because of that divergence, I'm more inclined for longs today. The better play might be ES, or it might be the Dow. As you can see, yesterday the Dow was really, really strong. It recovered really well from the sell-off, whereas ES did not, right? And then the NASDAQ was definitely the weakest one out of all. So given that factor and looking at some of the tech companies, so I'm going to start off with AMD, right? And we can see AMD sold off, made a new low, explaining again why NASDAQ has made a new low today. NVIDIA, same thing. NVIDIA ended up making a new low as well. If we look at Apple, Apple didn't make any new lows. It's holding above, consolidating, which looks good for a movement up. And then we look at Meta, right? Meta also held, right? So given that most of the tech companies, it seems that they found a bottom, I am expecting again a movement to the top side today. But all of that is going to be contingent upon what the Fed minutes say. The narrative has completely changed since the first, which is crazy to see how they can literally go from one day to the next day, just switching the whole narrative and what the Feds are going to do or what they're not going to do or what their outlook is. Like now it's a little grim in comparison to before the end of the year where they were just talking all this positive stuff, right? So again, back to NQ. Ideally, I want to see NQ hold above yesterday's low. Now, if we do end up making another low and we come all the way down to 566, that may be a potential good long area for me, because again, it's just breaking from level to level. So that's a level that I want to say is probably on the daily, but let me take a look at the 4 hour. So yeah, so on the 4 hour right here. Now, if we break this, I mean, we could head all the way down to 16,412. But on the 4 hour, I'm seeing extremely overbought conditions. So let's see. Patience is key. And then let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's looking good as well, holding over yesterday's low. It broke it slightly this morning at 7:30. So now, as long as Tesla can hold in, I'm actually going to set an alert for once Tesla gets over 246 at or above 246.44 for a potential add or long on NQ. If we break pre-market low, yep. So let's see. Okay. 3-minute rejection. All right. And also this morning, I'm gonna be doing a dual stream with Mr. Deckmark with Sean this morning. So this morning, me and Sean will be doing a dual stream. So that'll be exciting to see. So he'll probably might be trading SPY or SPX. So while he trades SPX or SPY, I'll be trading it via ES.
It's a very convoluted moment. In a convoluted moment, it's not a time to be able to say, you know what, I really, truly want to stick my neck out.
Russell 2000's dropping. Goodness. No legs. Lows are going to get taken out. Feel free to ask any questions.
This landing could be delayed. The U.S. economy continues to defy expectations. Consumer spending is over 68% of the economy, and it's hard to make a case for a pullback as long as equity values are high and the labor market remains as tight as it is. Longer-term rates have dropped recently, which could stimulate demand in interest-sensitive sectors, such as housing. And while you might think this would be a first-class problem, strong demand isn't the solution to above-target inflation. And that's why the potential for additional rate hikes remains on the table. So a soft landing is increasingly conceivable, but in no way inevitable.
Oh, yo, you peeped yesterday, right? SPY, it went to that 473 area and then reversed, which is exactly what I was looking for. But I ended up actually getting out. I actually ended up getting out like around 73.10. So I really like the fact that it did pull up to that area, 73.30, and then slightly above it, but then it reversed, creating a new low before the end of the day, which was solid. So let's see. Outlook on SPY. I mean, if SPY breaks below yesterday's low, we definitely could go lower. Let me take a look at a 4-hour. Long at this level might be risky. Yeah. Yeah, so if SPY breaks 470, we could see a slide down to 467.40. So I'm gonna create an alert. Let's see if price does gets there at or below, and I'm gonna put 50 for 67.50. Create. So at or below, I'll get an alert. Yeah, it's looking weak. So yep. So and let's take a look at the daily. Oh, already breaking. That means NAS is breaking down as well. Yeah.
the billionaires row.
Yeah.
But I just think we've had a big run. And like takes a
Ooh,
look
nice. That's what's up.
12%.
New lows on NQ coming.
32 consecutive overbought closes to end 2023.
Yeah, 9 weeks up. Go back since 2004. These are not the stuff which just says, you know what, we need another big week. I think these are the stuff to say, okay, let's reshuffle the deck for a while. Let's maybe take some profits. One of the things that's happened is that the term take some profits has suddenly become heresy. And I was going back and forth this with Larry Williams, who's the oldest and smartest historian technician I know. And he was saying, Jim, you're not a trader if you decide that you want to take profits for the first time in years. That doesn't make you a trader. And I felt myself, wow, I felt tremendous pressure not to sell any of the Mag 7, which is ridiculous. I mean, these are the greatest performing stocks of all time. And I'm like saying, let it ride. It's like, you know, Dostoevsky, hey, listen, 000 in The Gambler. Let's just go and get it again. It's been such a great run. And by the way, if you look from November, right around the November meeting, the stocks that have done well, it's JP Morgan. That's what's moving things. And it's the Vanguard High Yield Fund, where JP Morgan is 3.3%, is the largest in the thing.
Yeah. All-time high yesterday.
All-time high. No, you know, it wasn't, you know, we did not get an all-time high from, I'm going to say it, NVIDIA.
Gold
We
is
didn't
also
get an all-time
dropping
high
as
from
well.
JP Morgan.
I mean, look at everything is just down
I
massively
do
in the
gotta ask
last
you about
few
NVIDIA
days.
Today, D.A. Davidson, initiate neutral, 410. The title of the report, Jim, is What If AI is Just Another Cycle?
Oh, my God, I know. And I'm like thinking, having gone out west and listened to what Amazon's going to do, Microsoft's
I
going to
mess
do.
around with oil
It could
today.
be a bubble
Let's
for a lot
look
of
at
companies.
ZL.
But it's real earnings for those guys. And NVIDIA has this gigantic software lead. But, and by the way, if you look at on future earnings, which Melius has done, it's selling 25 times next year's earnings. That said, look at the stock since the November meeting. Look at it. I got a complaint from the club. Someone was saying, listen, Apple, Jim, are you really going to stick with that? I said, well, I've stuck with it since 2005. But I too felt, all right, it's enough.
Right.
It's too big.
Right.
But it's too big.
How much is geopolitics playing in that trade right now? Whether it's China, reports of balloons over Taiwan today for the second day in a row. Obviously, the Red Sea, which
You hear
we'll
that?
get to later in the hour.
Well, look, I saw that the U.S.
China with balloons over Taiwan. I told y'all yesterday, keep your ears out for when China busts a move against Taiwan. It's a wrap.
They're going to be complacent and compliant. President Xi throws us a curveball. I know Taiwan's saying, please don't interfere. Like, I just look at all these things and say, well, there's a lot of landmines. So let's not go through if the landmines are clear. Now, you could say, you know, that's trepidation, and there's no room for trepidation and fear. Well, look, we just went through this whole year, and I stuck with all this stuff, and I was making fun of Mike Wilson, who was a bear. Now, it's like, I don't want to be him on the bull side. I come here saying, you know what, nothing's changed. I don't understand why people are deserting. How can you possibly desert the Microsoft move? Right. Microsoft just had an incredible move.
But you're talking valuation.
Yes.
You're not pointing to concerns about corporate capex
No.
or weaker household
No.
or a wave of corporate bankruptcies in 24.
Not at all. I mean, Rite Aid, that's really good for Walgreens. I mean, Walgreens got this guy Tim Wentworth, whom I love, and I'm going to see him when we go out to JP Morgan conference. But no, I'm just, you know, look, I don't like to pay 33 times earnings. I don't like to pay 29 times earnings for Apple. People should recognize that the multiples got very high, except for Meta, which has a low multiple, and Alphabet, which may not be able to make the numbers because of Google Cloud Services. I mean, Meta's insanely inexpensive if you want to look at it forward because of the efficiency. The question is, are these new products going to sell? Like with Apple, the Vision Pro, it doesn't even rate in any of these forecasts. And the Ray-Bans from Meta don't rate, and the Meta 3, the Quest 3 don't rate. I mean, everyone just thinks that everything is a bust that any of these guys come up with. I do point out that I could make a very strong case for Meta. Good, because that one's the really
Well, that's interesting. I mean, you're starting to ladder some of the 7. It
yes,
sounds like.
yes, but because look, I'm
Here
not
we
saying TV's
go.
gonna be banned here, but I think
New
there's a big benefit
lows.
to social media views. I think Zuckerberg changed the narrative for himself. I think he became, other than the bunker, which I think that the bunker
Something
seems
that is kind of standing out. Let's see if it happens
the
often.
bunker's a guy.
All right, so this is kind of what I'm realizing at this moment. I'm going to take a look all the way back here, okay? This all the way back in 2022 in July. Notice we have a gap. We have a gap up, a big morning spike, and then we actually finish in the red. Okay, take a look right here. Here's a large gap up. Here's a morning spike, and then you can actually see we finished in the red. Okay, how about right here? Right here, there is a nice gap up. Here's a nice morning spike, and then you can actually see we actually finished in the red. Let's see if there's any others here. Right, you can see we have a nice gap up. Here's a big spike. We actually finished in the green still, right? But we did have that big spike and then give it all back. So what is this essentially telling me? What this is telling me is NEXI, I don't want to go for a short. What I would most likely want to do is wait for that spike. Wait for that spike up to $8.75. Wait for that spike up towards $10, because the odds are it's going to have a big spike and then probably give a lot of that spike back. Doesn't mean it's going to go all the way back down to nothing, but probably everything that it does get from the spike, it's probably going to give it all back. I'm looking at the past chart history to be able to figure out what's going to be happening. So NEXI, that is definitely an option that I want to be looking at for a nice spike towards like $9, $10, and then we can go ahead and look to short it to see this thing come back on down. Or if you want to buy it, you can realize there is a great opportunity for this one to go on a nice spike right at the start of the day. So looking at the past chart history pattern, that is going to be very awesome. That is going to be, very cool to be able to see. Now, what else do we want to be focused on with this deck? Well, let's just talk about, our morning newsletter. Let's go over on everything that we're seeing, everything that we're at. And guys, I'm so fired up to be working with all you guys here today. This is absolutely amazing. So let's just start off at the top here. It says first day of 2024, and we ended with a $571 profit. I couldn't ask for much more. I am taking each day one day at a time. Not trying to make $20,000 a day, just letting those gains add on up. So yesterday we did make about 3 trades, and we were able to make $571 in profit. It was absolutely awesome, and really excited to be able to carry that on today. So we do have a market briefing. New Year's hangover. Stocks were mixed on Tuesday, the first trading day of 2024. While the Dow posted a slight gain, the S&P 500 slipped a little. The Nasdaq fell sharply, making for the tech-heavy index's worst day since October. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note approached 4% again, a minor reversal of recent trends that saw rates decline and risk on assets jump in what turned to be a blockbuster year for stocks. On Wednesday, investors will pour out the minutes from the Federal Reserve's December policy meeting, as well as the latest ISM manufacturing data. So, what does that all mean right here? If we take a look at this time, we could see our economic calendar. And if we take a look over on the economic calendar, we do have some things coming on up today. So what is coming on up? Wednesday, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. 10 o'clock, U.S. job openings. 10 o'clock, ISM manufacturing. 2 o'clock, minutes of Fed's December meeting. So we could actually see the S&P 500. If you don't see a lot of action on the S&P 500 this morning, don't worry, guys. You're probably going to see some later on at around 2 o'clock. So you guys can just keep that in the back of your mind. Now, what else do we have going on here? If we take a look over on CNBC, we can see that this morning, it says NASDAQ futures fall for a second day following the worst session since October. So stock futures fell on Wednesday, putting Wall Street on track for another choppy session. After the NASDAQ composite registered its worst daily decline in nearly 3 months. The NASDAQ on Tuesday dropped more than 1.6% for its worst day since October, dragged down by the major technology stocks and nearly 4% decline in Apple after Barclays downgraded the iPhone maker. Apple shares dipped another 0.5% in pre-market on Wednesday. Investors appear to be selling last year's tech winners, which soared in as much market anticipated easy monetary policy in 2024. But the economy is still on shaky ground and remains uncertain on whether the Federal Reserve will begin cutting rates. Investors seem to have curbed their enthusiasm. So that's basically where we're at this moment, traders, when we take a look over on this market. When we jump over towards this market right here, you can see that the S&P 500 has been getting weaker. The S&P 500 over the last few days now has been having a nice steady drop. The SPY has gone from 477 down towards 470. So we have fallen about $7 now over the last 2 days. So the S&P 500, what's in store for us today? That's what we want to break down. That's what we want to ask ourselves. So what's the SPY game plan? Well, as you guys can see, just being open and honest and transparent, the market is falling for now. Just as stated yesterday, I do think we have 1 to 2 red days before 2024 hype starts taking over. Watch for 1 step back before 5 steps forward. Every investors know that the SPY is due for a pullback. The market cannot hold 9 green weeks in a row, a 23% gain in a year, and a $70 spike in 3 months. That is just not normal. But I do think we are going to break the new 52-week high before the big dump. I do not think we will fall into a recession, but a healthy pullback will come over the next few months. I'm going to wait until 490 before I start looking to load up on puts, which is right under the strong $500 resistance line. If we get to 490, I feel confident my puts to enter. If we don't, no one's done, as I will not be in. As of today, watch for a pullback back down to 467 before the next strong level of support that I see. So traders, let's basically just kind of break this down and make this easy, okay? I think that the market is due for a pullback, okay? The market is due for a pullback. But at the same time, I think it's only going to be a small pullback before that next leg on up. I do still think we are going to get up towards 490. I still do think we are going to hit a brand new 52-week high. I do think that we are going to see a one final push before a big dump and before a big collapse. So I would like to see pullback, come on down towards 467, 465, or and then we get that next leg on up. Then we get that nice move. Then we get that nice rip. So I would be ready over on the S&P 500. I think we are going to have another red day today, but this is probably what I think going to be the last red day. I think today's going to be the last red day before we start moving ourselves back on up into the end of the week. So what else do we have going on here? I just wanted to kind of put out something that changed my career, team, was realizing it is easier to predict the stock will fall rather than it is to predict the stock will rise. When we have these low float, rapid volume movers, 99% give back their beats. I am back to shorting and shorting it all. So as you guys know, yesterday I was shorting. Today I'm shorting.
Nice bounce.
I just feel so much more confident
Nice
when I'm
bounce.
on the trade on shorts. Stocks that I know are not going to hold up their gains.
I like it.
I'm going to win
Good long.
time, but what I will let you guys know is that it's easier to be able to say, hey, this stock is going to fall back on down, rather than trying to figure out what stock is going to go on a big time spike. There are over 8,000 stocks available to trade. It's hard to be able to say which one is going to go on a big time spike. You know what's a lot easier? Finding the one that is a top gainer already and saying, oh yeah, this is just some random penny stock pump and dump play. It's going to come crashing on down. When the answers are given to us, it's a lot easier to be able to make money rather than trying to find which one is going to be the best one out of the 10,000 options out there. So I want to make sure that you guys realize, hey, Deck, he's shorting a lot right now. Shorting's how he made the most money back in 2021, $552,000. And so far, you know, we're doing great with our shorts. So what else do we have going on here? We do have NEXI, no news, low float, big pump. This stock has room to run up to the 200-day moving average, 625. It keeps on running. 785 will be my main target for I look to short. I'm probably going to go a little bit higher though, probably more towards like $9, $10. We'll go over that here in a second. But NEXI is our #1 top gainer on the day. All right, awesome, team. So let's kind of get out of that. Let's take a look over on NEXI at this moment. And what's the big thing over on NEXI at this time? Guys, NEXI is at this time going from the bullish side to technically the bearish side at this moment. So if anyone wanted to go ahead and jump in over on this play, you guys can see NEXI is from the bullish side to the bearish side at this exact moment. So why wouldn't we want to jump in on the shorts right now? The only reason why we wouldn't want to jump in on shorts right now on NEXI is we do know that its past chart history pattern. Its past chart history pattern does
Can't seem to get over the 630.
Pattern does show us that we do have that nice old high. NEXI does show that we have highs up towards around 850. The NEXI right here has these old spiking highs before giving back its gains. I do think NEXI might have a little bit more hype behind it before this play, starts giving back its gains. Let's make sure we're not missing anything, because as of now, team, let's just kind of review this game plan if anyone's confused. The S&P 500, I think we're going down towards around 467 today. I do think we're going to start getting a little bit weaker. I do think we are going to get a little bit of a drop. We can watch not only the S&P 500, but I also think NVDA could get a little bit weaker today. I think NVDA might be able to fall. If we want to take a look over on Tesla, I think Tesla's going to continue to fall. If we want to take, so we got NVIDIA, we got Tesla. If we want to take a look over on Meta, I think is going to get a little bit of a crack and get a little bit of a fall back on down towards around that 340-ish mark. So I think that could get a fall. So I do think a lot of these plays are going to see weakness. I do think a lot of these plays are already pointing down here. I do think a lot of these plays could be able to, get a little bit of a drop right at the start of the day. So I am watching that to see if these plays kind of continuously feed, continuously fall, continuously get weaker, maybe touch the low of the day back down to 340 on Meta. Maybe come on down towards NVDA, come on down to that 50-day moving average, maybe back down towards 467. Maybe again, when I take a look over on Tesla, we can come on down towards some 240 support.
Yeah, I don't particularly like looking at the 1 minute.
Right, so when I take a look over on this, I can see that Tesla is pointing on the downside.
5 minute, yes.
I can see that Meta is still on this downtrend. I can see that NVDA right now is still on this downtrend. So nearly every single blue chip I'm looking at this moment is still on these downtrends, which
Nice
is
bounce
making
off the
me lean towards the
600.
fact that we're probably going to see some puts, at the start of the day. We're probably going to see a little bit more dropping at the start of the day. That's kind of what I'm, more focused on. Now, obviously, NEXI has a lot of hype. ABVC is trying to hold up its gains here slightly. ABVC, see if that one can be able to break through 250. SASI, no. DYN, no. FWBI. All right, traders, what it kind of comes on down to, going through all of these plays right here, it comes on down to, let's see if NEXI is going to hold its gains. NEXI does have room to run up towards around 875, then all the way up towards $10. ABVC could steal the hype if NEXI drops. 250 is going to be strong resistance. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see what's going to be coming on up. 8K, killing it, buddy. $217,000. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, shout out to, again, all the traders here, the mentors here, the streamers here. You guys are absolutely fantastic here. Ladies and gentlemen, we absolutely love working with you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing and so awesome and so great. I also do want to make sure that everyone is aware. In 2024, a new feature that we did add was right underneath the live stream over on Tradecaster is the donate button. That is all 100% optional, but I always want to be able to throw that out there for all of our streamers that do such an amazing job. If you make, let's say, $500 to $1,000 on an alert, if someone is giving great alerts, if someone is being educational, if someone is being entertaining, if you believe that they should get a little extra tip, hey, well, guess what? You can go ahead and throw them an extra tip, an extra $2, $5, $100, whatever you want. You don't have to, but it's there if you want to. It's almost like, again, being the waiter, being the waitress, and if you think they did an excellent job on the alerts on these plays, you can go ahead, give them a tip, and they get 100% of all the tip that you are giving them. So we do have, again, the donate over on Active Trader, over on J-Trades, on AK-47, on Kush, on Caesar, on Yeah Buddy, so that you guys can go ahead, and if you guys want to, you can show a little extra support. Again, you don't need to, but you can always do that. You will get a highlighted message over in chat, and they do get all 100% of whatever you guys are interested in donating if you guys would like to. But again, that is all up to you. So let's get ready to make some money. Let's get ready to make some cash. Let's get ready to make this next possible play. So I am leaning towards NEXI on shorts, but I'm also leaning towards possible put contracts over on Tesla, looking for put contracts over on Meta. I could imagine just a little bit of this negative momentum, a little bit of negative action as traders start saying, hey, you know what? I think this is going to get a little bit of a pullback back on down and start going from there. So let's get ready to go here. Let's see what comes on up. Give me 2 seconds right now, team. Just gonna go get my water bottle right there. We're gonna be getting ready.
I don't think Sean realizes that I've hopped on the Zoom. We're gonna have to give him a few minutes.
Big out one coming on. All right, traders.
Hey, Sean.
927. I'm gonna let go of the Discord. Discord traders, absolutely love you. Discord traders, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And get on over here to tradecaster.com if you guys want to enjoy the fun as always. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, so We got ourselves a ready to go. Ooh, Meta with a little bit of pop right off the rip here.
Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
So I'm going to be starting off probably by watching NEXI. Hoops to Trade 3. Good morning, Hoops to Trade. Good morning, Hoops to Trade. Let's see what we have. Meta 5. Yeah, Meta actually going on a little bit of pop. Is everything getting a little bit of a pop here? No, NVDA is not getting a pop. What about Tesla? Tesla right here, nothing on Tesla. Meta got a little bit of pop. All right, I'm going to focus over on NEXI at the start of the day here. So we're all ready to go. Caesar, I sent you a link. If I do not see you at all, Caesar. So again,
I'm
Caesar,
on.
if you want to jump on our Zoom call here, I do not see you. I sent you the link. So make sure you come on over here and check this thing on out if you want to get on over to the party. So traders, 9:29, ready to rock and roll.
How do you not see me? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. I didn't see you before.
Oh, I've been on since you were doing your breakdown.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I'm bringing it on over. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll hide this because what are you using your webcam in your room?
Yeah, I'm using the webcam in my room. Yes.
Gotcha, guys. So the market's about to open on up. Caesar and I are going to do a little like live stream together here. If you want to watch his stream, he is right over here and he is live over in his lobby. So you guys can of course go ahead and see exactly what he is doing. But right now the market's about to open on up, and obviously Caesar, just want to get your quick little game plan. What are you thinking going on this day?
I'm thinking we're gonna end up seeing a bounce today. Massive selling in the last few days. I've been watching AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, and they seem to have bottomed out pre-market. So I'm looking for an upside movement, and we have the Fed minutes this afternoon, so it'll be interesting to see what we get.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I want to definitely be watching this market, looking for these bounce plays. And also at the start of the day, I know this is not your thing too much, but I know NEXI, is a little bit hot. So any plays that you're going to be jumping in on right now or right off the rip, Caesar?
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on some confirmation. I do like ES and NQ for a potential long. So NQ for the stock traders, it would be the triple Qs, and for ES it would be the SPY or SPX, whichever they choose to trade. So we just.
What are you looking to get in? Are you looking for morning pullbacks, morning drops, and then getting in like mid lunch hours or a bounce play?
No, I'm probably looking to get in the next few minutes. The Nasdaq just took out the lows for a third time this morning. So right now I'm looking to get long soon as I see a 15-minute candle close above yesterday's low. So for those looking at the triple Q, you want to see the triple Qs hold above yesterday's low, at least a 15-minute candle close above that. So I'm gonna look to take a long once we hold above that. And I know we have PMI at 10 a.m. So that's going to be another economic data that may cause a nice little pop in the market for the 2 p.m. Fed minutes.
Awesome. Right now, my main watch, still keep my eyes peeled over on NEXI. I want to see if NEXI is going to get on up and get this nice morning spike. You can see that NEXI, we have seen these very big rips and runs. You can see NEXI, very big rip and run. NEXI, very big rip and run. So I kind of want to see this NEXI, nice rip and run towards $9 plus. Then I want to go ahead and look for the short. So NEXI looking for that $9 plus short. And that's where I have the most confidence to get involved on this play. Right now, when I'm looking at NEXI, it's consolidating. It's trying to get back above its uptrend from this morning. When it gets back above its uptrend from this morning, that's going to be very good. Also, DYN, a little bit of a pop this morning, or at this moment. DYN was all the way up to $30. This was the play I shorted at $25 to put me up $316 already. So still just kind of sitting back, watching NEXI try to get above $8. And then once it starts getting above $8, $9, that's where we want to start looking for shorts. Right now, I think it's a little too low, and I think being the number one top gainer only has 719,000 in float, 207% gap up. It might catch some fire still. There still might be a little fire that's going to rip and run onto this one. So let's see, what else we have. Sitting back, staying smart. Caesar, you went on your plays yet, or are you still waiting?
I took a quick scalp long. I just got stopped out at the low of the day. Just testing out the water, not alerting yet for you guys.
Tesla, nice little drop on down 245 down to 242. And I just, a lot of it is Apple got smoked yesterday, that downgrade from Barkley analysts, and that it just it hurt Apple, hurt Tesla, hurt all these tech plays, NVDA. I mean, take a look right now. We're still having this massive red candle over on these tech stocks, and it's just this momentum. Basically, there has to be some sort of turn in this momentum. Basically, everyone has to have this common agreement of, all right, we are at the bottom. But if you take a look right now, Tesla's getting pretty ugly right off the rip here. 245 all the way down to 242 here over on Tesla. Still fading, still falling. I'll put Tesla on the bottom level 2 at this moment. That one is still falling on down. If you're saying, Deck, how low can Tesla go on down towards? I'd probably say 239. I would say I'd probably say like 239.50. I still think there could be like a $3 drop. It's always tough chasing these plays. I'm not a huge fan of chasing plays at the bottom, but the thing is, Tesla 245 down to 241 just had a nice solid red candle, and we have room to fall technically all the way down to the 50-day moving average. Meta, not doing the big drop over on Meta. How's Apple? Apple's actually having a little bit of a pop back on up, so Apple's starting to turn. How's NVDA at this moment? NVDA is trying to turn back on up. Really, the only one that's getting crushed at this moment is Tesla. Tesla is one of the plays that just is not holding up as well.
AMD as well, looking to catch a bid.
AMD trying to get a little bit of hype.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about AI going into this year? Do you think AI is going to keep all the heat, or you think it's going to shift to something else?
It's gonna fizzle. It's gonna fizzle a little bit. Due to the fact that China may mobilize against Taiwan this year, so that's going to affect AI and the whole chip production. And there are some countries that they're trying to limit the amount of chips that they get from like Chinese manufacturers. So it's going to be interesting to see how much of a drop or pullback that it does this year.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any other trends that you think can be able to steal the show? I'm always kind of looking for that next narrative, that next trend, that next kind of hype wave. Anything that's sparking your interest that you're kind of hearing about? People are starting to kind of sputter a little bit as this is the next big thing.
What I've been looking at since last year is Intel. I think this year is going to be a massive win for Intel. I'm thinking that probably maybe by the third quarter we might see Intel north of $80, and with the years to come we could see Intel somewhere around AMD level, 130s, 150s. So I'm really excited for that. And again, one of the narrative that's going to push that is the whole China-Taiwan conflict. And recently Intel had gained a major deal, so which helped it reach over $50 a share. And then in the last few days, with the whole market pulling back, it's retraced a little bit. But Intel is definitely my favorite for the next couple of years. I mean, I even bought leap year calls on it when it was at 42.
Oh wow, nice. I mean, so is Intel? I know obviously Intel computers, but are these like the chips? The
Yes.
Semiconductor chips?
Yep, the chips. Yeah. So specifically, my play on Intel is for the chip aspect of it, because again, when things really hit the fan, and let's say there's a high probability that Taiwan would fall under the Chinese folds, and what separates the whole Taiwan and Intel is the whole supply chain. And being that Taiwan may fall under China, that's going to limit the supplies for Western countries, all of Europe, and specifically the US.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for just that little heads up. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, NEXI definitely getting a little bit weaker. NEXI starting to drop on down towards that VWAP. Definitely going to find some support lines near that VWAP. We never got that very big spike just yet. I could say that NEXI is going to drop on down towards like $6 or so. Notice the 200-day moving average trying to hold it on up. Definitely could get a little bounce play right next to that 200-day moving average. So we didn't have like our exploding play just yet. We don't have our play. Maybe SIDU. guys want to take a quick look. SIDU, a nice little rip and run right off the rip here. SIDU, I don't believe there's any shares available to short though, unfortunately. Let's just take a, yeah, unfortunately guys, SIDU, we cannot short this one. So SIDU, we cannot short this play. This one just came right up towards the VWAP. Does have, I will say this, a nice little mid-candle breakout setup. So
Seeing massive divergence right now. We got the Russell dropping. NQ's looking to catch a bid. Nvidia's popping. AMD with a little retracement. Apple's holding. Meta's kind of undecisive at the moment. I still like NQ for a long, so I just want to see it hold above 16,630, and I'll re-enter along again.
Breakout pattern is when we do have a very nice spike. We do fall down to the mid candle of the spike on the daily chart, and then we start moving ourselves on up. I like how SIDU is getting this rip right here. I do like how SIDU has room to run up to $10 plus. So is it a play that I think is worth a chance? I would say, yes, it is. But you probably don't want to take the risk buying it at the very top of the VWAP. Probably the better opportunity would be trying to buy it down low. Buy it down near $8. Maybe you can get a quick little lower shadow and then be able to spike itself on up. So if you guys are interested over on SIDU, you probably want to say to yourself, all right, hey, I want to try to get filled at $8 and let me place limit orders in, see if I can get a quick dip buy and see if it's going to be able to bounce itself, back on up. That's kind of what I would look for if I were you. Get filled on a quick little dip buy. Hopefully you get that quick little lower shadow and it spikes itself right back on up. That would be, best case scenario here. So let's just see if SIDU, when this one opens on up, if we can get a quick pullback back down to $8, get filled, and see this one spike itself back on up. This gets unhalted in about 50 seconds here. So SIDU, definitely keep this one on watch, but that would be the game plan. Going back on down towards around support, bounce play, spike, bounce play, spike. We do have kind of a consolidation area. Look for a pullback and then maybe a rip right back up towards 860. I'll probably do about 500 shares. See if I can get, be able to make this money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 500 shares here, and see if SIDU can get that pullback and then spike itself back on up. We are looking for the spike of the day. We have not seen the big spike. We have not seen the big rip or the run. We can't short SIDU, but we are looking to see which play can go on the big rip and run so we can short it later. This is going to be opening up in 6 seconds, guys. Everyone stay alert. Everyone stay ready in case we do get filled here. SIDU opening up in 3, 2, 1. SIDU. We might be going over to another 5-minute hold. Might be another 5-minute hold here. So, guys, SIDU was halted. 9:35, 46 seconds. Yeah, we have crossed over that area. All right. So, guys, nothing there. Nothing there just yet. Little heads on up. DYN. This was the stock that I shorted this morning at $23, down towards around $17. Does have a ton of support kind of right next to that bottom, that pre-market low of 1660. So you got that pre-market low of 1660, but DYN, could easily just keep on fading and give everything back. Anyone want to jump in on some possible DYN shares? DYN, just basically hold this thing for a nice, short and dump all the way on down towards, $15.
Nvidia's taking off.
Definitely could. You do have a little bit of pre-market bouncing. So pre-market bounce right here.
Let's
Probably
go.
going to get a little bounce play back off.
All right, going long again on NQ. Going long again on NQ. Nvidia's taking off. Looks like Nvidia's about to cross over 480.
Love it. Is that your first or main entry, you think? Jumping in now and trying to hold this for a bit?
Yeah, I'm in now, and I'm gonna hold for a bit. And I'm actually gonna add to my position. Once NQ gets over 16,660. And again, I'm watching simultaneously. I'm watching Nvidia, Meta, AMD, and Apple at the same time, and they're all catching a bit. Nvidia is definitely the one winning. So I'll be looking to add once Nvidia is over 483, I'll look to add to my NQ long position, and I'll be looking to take some off over 16,700. Okay, let's go.
That's just the most active play, in the market. I feel like as now. It used to be Tesla, and I just NVDA is the most active now. If you want to try to make as quick money as you can, usually NVDA is where you want to look at. Other than maybe SPX or something.
Yep.
So how many positions do you usually try to get in at once? Do you ever say, okay, you know, this is too many positions, or you like to do one, two, or all your positions basically doing the same thing so it's easier to follow? So like, what's kind of your strategy with that?
So usually there's a number of that I'll trade. So I'll trade NQ, ES at the same time because they all go in the same direction. Sometimes there's a lagger, so at times it might be the Dow Jones that'll be moving faster, and NQ or ES might be lagging. So when I see that, I'll start scaling into the one that's actually lagging because it'll give me a greater range of profits. But on average, I have maybe 3 or 4 different positions on. So I'll be either long ES and long NQ, and I might be short oil and long gold. So those are the main ones that I particularly trade. Sometimes I'll trade soybean oil, which is ZL. That's a commodity. And then once 11 o'clock hits, I'll look to probably take some option trades if I see a good setup. Like right now, I'm debating on possibly taking Meta 350 calls. I think once the minutes come out later today, we're going to see a nice pop where we're going to end up closing the day positive. So I'm going to be looking at possibly taking some Meta calls, 350 strikes ending next week or probably like the end of the month.
Nice. So do you always do your contracts like never same day? Do you always go
Yeah,
like 2
I
weeks
never
or
do
so?
the same day. I always the closest I'll probably do is a weekly, but I like monthlies because I like to give myself more time to be right.
Mm, I gotcha.
So
It just
yeah.
kind of comes down to that balance though, because when you have a monthly, you got to pay more money for it.
Yes, but I give myself more time to be right, and that for me, it's much preferred for me. Like day trades for me are the futures market, and when it comes to options, I want to give myself like a good amount of time to be right.
Yeah. No, that absolutely makes sense. I love it. Love it. Hold on, I got to get back to this SIDU trade, guys.
Gotcha.
SIDU, this one should be getting unhalted in about 26 seconds. So SIDU, it should be 9:45 and 46 seconds. I'm still looking to get only about 500 shares here. So SIDU, want to get about 500 shares on this play on a nice low dip buy and see if I can go nice low dip buy right back up towards like 850 and just try to make another $250 or so. Let's see if we can make this happen in about 3 seconds. 3, 2,
All right, so
1.
I'm gonna be looking to
SIDU.
add once NQ is
Guys, we are live.
over
SIDU, big gap up. SIDU did not get filled.
16,660.
Big gap up right now. Did not get filled. Big gap up. SIDU is starting to spike. SIDU, guys, did not get filled. This one is starting to spike, and now we are starting to get that mid-candle breakout setup. So I did not get filled on this play. I was looking for the quick pullback. It's cool to see that SIDU is obviously the stock that we're talking about. And I do right now, traders, just want to go into a quick little lesson on this mid-candle breakout setup in case no one knows what this is. All right, so let me bring this on up. I know so many people know what the mid-candle breakout setup is, but for anyone who does not, this is one of my go-to patterns, okay? So SIDU right now is currently sitting, how high are we? Oh, okay, so SIDU, we have about a 45% gain. And you might be asking yourself, why is this stock moving the way it is? Well, traders, this is one of our go-to favorite patterns out there. We call the mid-candle breakout pattern. Now, if you guys Google mid-candle breakout pattern, you're not going to find anything. This is just the name that I gave it from seeing it over and over and over again. So what is the mid-candle breakout pattern? In the most simple way to explain this, all it is when we have a massive green day, a red candle follows the next day, and then a green candle follows the day after that. So why does this happen? Usually what happens here is XNY, for this example, would come out with a great press release. It might say we have positive data, positive phase 2, great contract, whatever it may be. And we see a stock go from $1 and spike up to $3.50. A very nice move. Then it goes up so high that traders start taking profits and people start shorting it. But then traders remember that, hey, this stock had great news. It gave back too much of its gains. And then we start seeing buyers move back in. So it's basically we have news happens, we have an overextended move, which leads to a rapid sell-off, but then it kind of balances back on out and buyers move back in. From the big spike on up, shorters start moving in, and then the shorters get squeezed the following day. So you can see on this example, we have SPU. SPU had a great spike from $3 all the way to $8. Then we had that mid-candle breakout setup where we had that red candle fall back down to mid-candle of the spike. buyers start realizing that this is an amazing price and start squeezing out the shorts. You could see it over on SCON. You could see it right here over on OPTT. We go all the way from 350 all the way up
AMD's
to around
pulling
$10.
back.
We got a little pullback. Then buyers realize that we dropped too low. We start squeezing out the shorts, and that's where we go on our next leg on up. HMNY took a few days, but it's still the same idea. We fell on down to mid candle of the spike, then buyers moved back on in. You can see very big spike, pullback, then again the shorts get squeezed. So this is the pattern that we see over and over and over again. And when we take a look over on SCON, we can see that happening right here, where we do have this very nice spike. We have this red candle, and then buyers move back on in right here, and that is what's leading towards this pop as of now. So is there room to be able to spike up even higher? The answer is yes. We could go all the way up towards $11 plus here. The only issue I have, which makes me slightly nervous on this play, is that we are sitting right underneath the resistance. So you can see SIDU, we have room to run all the way up towards $12 plus. We really do over on SIDU. But the issue is we do have some old resistance right here, right at 1010. So SIDU, I think it's going to be a little bit of a tricky one. It's going to be a little bit tough. It's going to be a little bit of a 50-50 if you will go ahead and place in limit orders to buy right now. There's a chance that we get a pullback. There's a chance that we fall back on down towards 925. There's a chance that we get halted on the downside. But there's also a chance that we open up with another gap up and we just keep soaring all the way up towards 12 bucks. So SIDU has the attention as of now. SIDU has the hype. SIDU is where everyone's looking. So make sure if you guys are a penny stock trader, SIDU, that's the one that you guys are aware of. If we take a look over on this play, let's just go to NASDAQtrader.com/trading halts. We can see SIDU got halted at the time.
It's looking to. We got 9 minutes left, 10 minutes.
At 9:51 and 11 seconds. So we got about another minute or so until this one gets unhalted, but we are sitting right at those highs. Caesar, how's your position doing right now?
Still looking good. Still looking good. I'm fluctuating between 12 and 10 points in profits. Just looking for the push, and we got about 10 minutes left until the news comes out. So it definitely looks like it's setting up for a movement, just waiting for the news to hit. But I'm still profitable on the day. But I don't want to lock in just 12 points. I want at least 50 to 100 points on NQ today.
Yeah, real quickly, why do you look for futures rather than just doing plain options? Is there one thing that really stands out to you?
Yes. Futures, I don't have to wait until 9:30 to exit out of position. So I've traded options before. I do really well in options as well. I just hate the disadvantages that as retail traders we get because we're not able to exit out until 9:30. And for me, like I never really do same day positions unless I take a trade first thing in the morning, and let's say by mid-afternoon I'm up 100 or 200%, then I'll take it. But just I prefer the freedom of futures because it's 23 hours a day, Sunday to Friday. So if I was just focusing on options, I would have to wait till 9:30 to start making money. Every week I'm making money starting Sunday at 6 p.m. and more often than not, by 7 a.m. I'm done with my trading day. I just end up staying on longer because of my commitment to the community. But for the most part, 7, 8 a.m. I'm done. And I usually can start the day being up 1 to 2% of my account.
I like it, man. And so are you about kind of going for that one big trade a month, or are you about, just letting those gains add up, day after day after day?
Gains add up day after day because going for one big win, there's going to be a lot of fluctuations and I would have to swing. And that, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to come out that I might not be aware of. Some days I might oversleep or whatever, and I might miss an exit. So I prefer to come in every day liquid and just, trade what I see because, there's always opportunities. Even when the market is trending, there's still some good opportunities for some quick counter trend trades, which can end up being, 0.5% to 1% on the day or two, and then keep it pushing. But I highly believe in small wins adds up at the end of the month versus, trying to make one big win and then, end up stressing because the fluctuations on P&Ls is crazy. I mean, tonight I might be up 2 grand. Tomorrow I'm down a grand. That's a 3 grand fluctuation. The next day I might be up 6 grand, and then it comes back down, and I'm only up 500, right? So those fluctuations and trying to make like one big win, I don't like it. So, or if I do it, it has to be in a separate account that I'm not looking at.
Mm-hmm. No, all understandable. No, I love it. Well, I just tons of great feedback. Absolutely awesome. And thank you for just continuously doing so great.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I like the community. I like what you did here. You know what I mean? So just want to continue to add as much value and continue to help this community grow and, see how many full-time traders we can get, you know what I'm saying, by the end of this year.
Whew. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, buddy.
Yes, it is.
Let's keep our eyes on this market. And let's just, keep on crushing this day.
Absolutely.
Right now, if you see anything, please feel free to alert it. And DYN is getting that nice little short. That's been kind of the one that's been fading on down. I know a lot of us are looking at SIDU. Unfortunately, though, SIDU, we cannot short it at this time.
All right, let's see. We got about 6 minutes left until the news. About to say, taking any bets, seeing which ways they're going to go.
What was that?
I said we got about 6 minutes left until the news, so I'm just like, oh, is there any bets on, which way the market's going to go off this PMI report?
How strong is PMI usually?
It's pretty strong. It's not as strong as CPI. So, but
CPI tomorrow? CPI tomorrow?
No, we don't have CPI tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow we have. Let me look. Tomorrow we have jobless claims, and no, I think CPI might be like next week.
Okay, gotcha. Hold on 1 second though. We got 1 minute, guys, until SIDU opens back on up. So 1 minute until SIDU opens back on up. I would probably say next dip buy opportunity, if you are looking for that pullback, probably back down towards around 905. So SIDU, if you guys are interested, probably look to go ahead and add some entries back down towards around $9. So you could do a $9 entry. You could do maybe an $8.90 entry. Just trying to maybe get these little bounce plays in case we do get that pullback. In case we do get a pullback, in case we do get an area that's going to get a nice quick little drop, I just want to be ready over on SIDU. SIDU, I'm going slightly above the VWAP, and I'm looking at these old spiking highs, little spiking high, little consolidation, and also right at the bottom of this candle. So if we do have a quick drop and pullback from our old resistance line, this should be a nice entry right here. Now, traders, there's a chance that we just gap up and we go to $12 plus. Okay, so I'm trying to be as smart as I can by looking for dip buys. I'm trying to be as smart as I can by not buying at the tippity top. I'm looking for pullbacks to get filled. So this is going to open up in 8 seconds. If you really like SIDU, it might gap up and go to $12 plus coming on up. You guys have right now about 2 seconds. 3, 2, 1. SIDU is live. There's a gap up to 1160. Guys are still up. See, I did not get filled again, and we are looking to go all the way up to $12 plus at this point. 12.25. We just hit 12.25 there. 12.29. So my entries obviously are not getting filled at this moment. LULD on the downside is $10. If we fall down to $10, we're getting halted. SIDU is where all action is at. Now, a little heads on up at this moment. SIDU, unfortunately, is non-shortable. So there are no shorts that I can get involved in over on SIDU. No shorts, non-shortable at this time, which is unfortunate because this is the #1 hottest play. Is having an absolutely beautiful mid-candle breakout pattern at this moment. If you guys are waiting for some sort of pullback, the LULD is at 1035. 1035 is where it's going to get halted on the downside. We did run on up towards 1229 so far. So that has been a nice overall move at this time. So SIDU, guys, is the most active play at this moment. And it does have, how much more room does this have to spike on up to? I would probably say $13, $12.90. So $12.90 would be like the main goal. So if you guys are looking to get involved over on SIDU, $12.90 is the main goal. The LULD is $12.65. So this play trader's still trying to get some momentum. This play trader's still looking for that next leg, and we actually might see a little bit of a squeeze coming on up here. We might have a little bit of a squeeze coming on up here very soon for that $12 break and run up towards around $12.90. So there's part of me that wants to kind of jump in with this momentum. I think we might get a little pullback. Where would the pullback be down towards? See that little check right here? This little dash line? This dash line usually represents what? Where the old Holt area was at. Usually old Holt areas holds up as some of the best support lines. That's also slightly right above the VWAP. I don't really want to just jump in and hope that it breaks $12. I still am looking for that dip buy. If we do break $12, we're going up to 13 most likely. $12.90 I'm going to say. $12.90, $13 is kind of the next target. So if you guys are still holding this play right now, we want to see that $12 break so that you guys can get all the way back on up and see this thing crush. So let's see here. LULD is still at 1035. LULD is at 1035. Still looking for that $12 break. Looking for that $12 smack there. We have SIDU, number one hottest play. BHG right now, team. A little bit of momentum over on BHG. I can just throw that on the bottom level 2 real quick over on BHG. See if that one, did that one get halted or is that one just low volume over on BHG? PNST halted. SIDU still, again, the number one play. Guys, SIDU, remember, has room to fall probably back down towards around like 1020. The LULD right now is 1035. It's probably going to change a little bit lower. I want you guys to be ready over on SIDU for a quick little dip buy. So a quick little dip buy, somewhere right around that 1020-ish mark is probably the best idea. Oh, LULD, 1035 right now. It might change. It might change. Let's just be aware of that. I'm going to look to get filled back on down towards $10 if we don't get halted. If we don't get halted, come back down to $10. Sometimes all of a sudden it comes back to life, as you guys know. You guys have seen that. Okay, it is halted. All right, it's halted at 1035. Started fading back on down, $12 plus. All right, traders. So unfortunately, there were no shares available to short on that play, right? We couldn't do anything with the shares to short on that play. You know, that is just part of stock trading sometimes that we don't get those. DYN, guys, still fading. Look at DYN.
There we go.
A massive dump. DYN was my only trade so
10
far
seconds.
today. That was a short. It's easily accessible for shorts, and that one is still fading. That one is still falling. So DYN just consistently fading and falling and dropping. Now, always, it could have been the woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Because I jumped in at $25 today. Isn't that nuts to think about? My short on DYN was at $25.60. Imagine I kept on holding down towards $13.90. Oh, traders, that's
Come
insane.
on, there we go. Yes.
What are you doing, Caesar? What are you doing?
NQ's finally taken off. Finally.
Ooh, there we go. 10 o'clock. There's the 10 o'clock bounce. So that 10 o'clock, data just came on through, guys.
Yeah.
10 o'clock data just came on through. Caesar, so you're long on everything? No shorts, nothing?
Yeah, no shorts, just long.
Order filled.
Adding.
So we still want to keep our eyes peeled on it.
Still
AK
looking.
Deck, you missed the DYN. I was the first one in DYN.
Oh.
You can't say I missed DYN when I was the first person to enter DYN. So DYN, obviously, there was a lot more left on the tank. But hey, I'm in there at 7:15. I'm taking some pride there, saying I'm in at the earliest bird. Someone have a better entry than me? $26? I don't think so. So DYN, obviously, a lot more left though. So this one may even keep on going. This one may go all the way down towards $12.
Why are they playing with us?
So that one may keep on going. VYGR, also a nice little solid play so far today. SASI. SASI, still watching this one. ABVC, SIDU. SIDU, again, I wish there were shorts available on that play. And look at EJH 377.
Order filled.
That one down at 243. I just want to see something with a little bit of volume. I want to see a play kind of get pumped on up from maybe a chat out there or so. SIDU, guys, this has been the most active play, as we know, one of the most active stocks out there. I'm going to say next possibility for a dip buy, probably all the way back on down towards the low $9 mark. Let's kind of just think about this team. If we take a look over on SIDU, what have we realized? We had gap up, we had spike, gap up, spike, gap up, spike, reversal. There's probably a great chance it's going to be gap down, gap down, gap down. So, SIDU, probably not going to look to dip by, probably the opposite side. You know, you can see gap up, gap up, gap up, and then again, keep crashing on down. VYGR, a little bit of a climb right here over on VYGR.
There we
Let's
go.
see, you know, what we could get, what else we can do here.
There we go. Keep it going.
Let's go over to see what the previous top gainers were. See if any of those previous top gainers are still trying to hold up their gains. DYN. Yeah, I still think DYN just came on down to 13 EMA. If it cracks that, it could go all the way on down towards like $10, 10.80. But that one's still just trying to hold on up. Let's see. What were previous top gainers yesterday? Previous top gainers, LBPH. What's LBPH do, guys? LBPH, how did we not bring this one up? How did no one bring this on up? I completely forgot about this, LBPH. But let's not forget, LBPH was the #1 top gainer of yesterday. You know, this one kind of just slipped my mind here for a second. But if we take a look over on LBPH, what do you guys realize? LBPH right here, team. This is the previous top gainer of yesterday. This stock that has gone from $6 all the way up to $27. So LBPH, this one still has a ton of potential. LBPH, this one is definitely one that could be able to make you some money. So LBPH traders, I would definitely say keep your eyes peeled on it. Don't force. Let's use our head. Nice job, AK. Nice $4,000 day.
Going long on SPY via ES.
Going long on SPY right here over on Caesar. Thank you for the heads up. What's kind of target, stop loss?
Target's going to be 472. Stop loss is going to be 470. So looking for about a point and change to the upside.
Nice. Thank you, boss, as always.
You're welcome.
How your profits looking today? You up?
Yeah, I'm up. I just added to my NQ and I took a long on ES, which I'm currently up about 4.5 points. ES moves a bit faster than SPY. But the economic numbers that came out were pretty positive.
Nice. I love that. You know, right at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
We also are seeing at this moment, yeah, guys, Bitcoin had a nice drop this morning, if anyone didn't realize that. So if you guys wanted to go on over, take a look over on the cryptocurrency world, we do have Bitcoin. Bitcoin did go all the way from 45,000 and dropped all the way on down to 40,000 this morning. We had a $5,000 tank on Bitcoin this morning. It did get a little bit of a bounce back on up, and it's currently sitting right around 42,000 at this moment. But Bitcoin did have a nice little crack. And this is only days away from the potential ETF. So we had this crack right here. There's no news. It's just saying that, you know, there was $100 million liquidated. You know, basically maybe some whales taking some profits before we have what? Before the ETF. ETF is supposed to come out on Friday. If it's not Friday, it could come out over the weekend or the 8th, 9th, or 10th. It's any time between the 5th and the 10th is when we're having this Bitcoin ETF. So we want to continue to keep our eyes peeled on it. NEXI potentially getting squeezed. New England trader, thank you for the heads up over there.
Not to mention the regulated exchange that's going to be coming out this year in Saudi Arabia.
What is that? I'm sorry.
Saudi Arabia. This year they're supposed to be launching a Bitcoin exchange that is actually regulated.
Oh wow. I didn't even hear about that. So, can United States citizens trade it, or only like?
Nope. United States citizens can trade it as well.
Oh, nice.
Or can participate in that. It can participate in that exchange. Yeah. So it's gonna be big. I mean, it's gonna be a big year for crypto this year.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely excited to see what is going to come on out with crypto and what's going to be happening with the crypto world. You know, especially with this ETF. You know, on the horizon. Little heads on up, guys. SIDU did get a bounce on off the VWAP, trying to spike itself back on up. So SIDU trying to spike itself on up, trying to get some momentum. Then we also don't want to forget about NEXI in case that one does start breaking $7. Part of me wants to buy SIDU for that rip and run up to $12. So SIDU, we know that we just had a little bit of a pullback. We just had that little bit of a bounce. Definitely be watching this one closely. SIDU traders can easily be a play. If that thing breaks through $12, we're probably going to get halted again. So this is one of those stocks that could easily take on off, easily be able to get that momentum towards it, and be able to get that main spike. NEXI here, traders. NEXI still trying to make that U-shaped pattern setup, and then we do have, I just keep forgetting the name of it, LBPH or whatever it was from yesterday. So that's one that you guys cannot forget, LBPH from yesterday. And finally getting a little bit of a dip buy. Go back into a larger time frame, about a 5-minute time frame, I believe I was in, or maybe a 10-minute time frame. Yeah, and you guys can get a good sense of this little wedge that's trying to form. A little bounce play. We're definitely going to probably consolidate right around like $23, $24, and then maybe later today we get the sell off. So LVPH, previous top gainer of yesterday, definitely could sell off later on today. So later on today, LVPH definitely could sell on off. It does not have like enough attention, I feel like, right now. NEXI still trying to get some momentum. NEXI bouncing off that VWAP area. And NEXI is a potential short play. If that one breaks $7, that one can easily squeeze. And we also have SIDU. So right now, top watches, guys. Top watches is we do have top watches. We do have SIDU. And we do have, at this moment, an EXI. These are both of the plays that can go on nice spikes. Only NEXI is shortable. SIDU is non-shortable. SIDU guys still trying to build on up for that next leg.
Ugh.
SIDU looking for that possible pop and squeeze. It is so close to getting that potential pop and squeeze. Maybe one little pullback, you can try to give it a chance. See if SIDU can be able to squeeze on up through that $8 mark or that $12 mark and really get that main explosion. So many people are looking for. Anyone in on SIDU right now for that $12 break? Again, we got SIDU we're watching, and then of course we are watching NEXI as well. You start getting back above $7, things can start getting very exciting. NEXI still looking for that possible $7 pop. If that one does get a quick little move up towards 740, that's going to be a strong resistance line. You can see top resistance, top resistance, top resistance. Then you could see that 740 mark. Get above 740. That's where I think things are going to start getting very, very quick over on NEXI. NEXI, if I wanted to go ahead and pull the trigger on some shorts on that play, they are getting cheaper, actually, NEXI. They're not as expensive as they were before. You need about a 13-cent move on NEXI to be able to make your money back. NEXI, if this one does take on off, it has room to go all the way on up towards 875. Strong resistance, though, right around 740 over on NEXI. Here comes a little bit of a pop over on NEXI, 728. Guys, NEXI right now, possible again, pop on up. NEXI, possible pop on up. Here comes again that 740-ish mark. Traders are definitely trying to get this play going the best they can. If you can get that quick little rip, you do have the high of the day all the way up towards around 780. We obviously are having some strong resistance, and here comes a little bit of a pullback. Little bit of a pullback at this moment over on NEXI. So this play is, slowly trying to hold up its gains. Can we break through that 740 mark? A lot of people are going to add shares right at 740. And if you're saying, Deck, why would someone look to short at 740? Take a look at the chart here. It's not, anything too crazy. So if you are just joining us right now, you can see 740 top resistance, 740 top resistance, 740 top resistance. Guess what? This is going to be a very tough area to be able to break through. Now, what it really comes on down to is if you do break this area, watch for a rip and run. If you can't break this area, then watch for it to reverse on down. So a lot of people are going to say to themselves, I'm going to enter right now with a stop loss at 750. You start getting above 750, watch for a possible squeeze. So here comes SIDU. Notice how it's hitting that red line. Let's see what's about to happen. Some people are going to be adding shorts right now, which is not a bad call if you guys are looking to add shorts. But as you guys can realize, it is having trouble, breaking through this, and that's why people are looking to add. If it does pop, though, it could spike right up towards $8 very quickly. So here it goes. It's still trying. It looks like strength is behind it. Does have some strength right now. I'm putting SIDU on the bottom level too, just in case that one breaks through $12. Let's not forget, SIDU, guys, is right here. SIDU does have that bull flag set up at this moment. NEXI traders still not getting that, big squeeze here just yet.
Oh,
SPY. Whoa, SPY just kind of turned there pretty rapidly. Caesar, are you still looking at that?
yeah, I got stopped out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there any reason that you're thinking it's turning right here? Is it just bad momentum?
No, I just comes out with the report that came out at 10, positive numbers, so could lead to the market just digesting it as negative, as we've seen many times where good is viewed as bad and bad is viewed as good. So, which is why it's important to always have a stop loss.
Hey, I mean, the great thing is, you are projecting how to keep it tight, how to, not hold in hope, and basically say, hey, if you hit your stop loss, you hit your stop loss. There's no
Yeah,
harm in that.
absolutely.
It's better to lose $100 than hold in hope and lose $10,000.
100%. Been there, done that in the early parts of my year, so it's not something that I'm keen on repeating. And it's okay to, admit that we're wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely, I love that. Look at Tesla. Tesla still
It's
having
gone.
a day.
Everything.
Tesla having a dump so
Wow.
far still. So that thing is still getting weaker. Tesla still dropping on down here. Now,
Everything's turning.
NEXI needs to get a breakout here soon, or it is going to fade. So I'm just going to let you guys know right now, NEXI needs to break out soon, or it will fade. So just a little heads on up for any NEXI traders. This needs to break out here soon, and if it doesn't, it will fade. Right now, it is trying to still build these higher lows. It's still holding itself on up. It's still sitting right at its top, and it still has that potential to squeeze on up here. It has come on up towards like 750 kind of multiple times. We have not gotten that pop on up above that 750 mark.
What a rejection.
What do we got on SIDU? SIDU, nope. SIDU not there yet. DYN also has been an awesome short for a lot of traders. I know AK's been on that one. A lot of you guys have been on that one for the shorting here. And then also Tesla has just been let this thing continue to fade and continue to fall. So Tesla has been doing its best. Traders, oh, guys, there's the NEXI. Whoa, guys, there is the NEXI Paparoni. Traders, that is what we were seeing here. Look at that ascending triangle pattern breakout. There is the NEXI pop and move there. So that thing just ran all the way on up over on NEXI. NEXI still has a lot of love and life into it, as you guys can realize. We just had a little bit of a pullback. Traders are trying to get involved over on NEXI for this next leg on up. There it goes over on NEXI. NEXI, guys, how much higher can this thing go up towards? I'm thinking, honestly, $10 plus. NEXI traders, this one has a lot of opportunity. I would not look to short it just yet. I do think there is a lot of chances for NEXI to be able to continue to spike here. So NEXI traders, this one, watch for some pullbacks, maybe back on down towards like 819 or so. NEXI, maybe pullbacks back on down towards that 819 low $8 mark, and then you can look for some nice pullbacks, nice breakouts towards $10 plus. So NEXI right now, look at that ascending triangle pattern wedge. How cool is that, guys? Look how cool that wedge pattern is. Look how cool that setup is. So I would say if we get a pullback, we got 782, we have 812. A lot of times we do have, pullbacks right back down towards like double bottoms, as we know. Still trying to spike on up though. We're still trying to move. We're still trying to rip. NEXI at this point looks like we have strength. NEXI, it's still moving pretty good. If you do get a pullback, maybe a slightly higher low, somewhere like quick little pullback and get involved on a quick little bounce spot. So I'm watching for it here, team. See if I can get a little bit of a dip. And if I can get a dip buy, I'll take it. The LULD on NEXI isn't until 646. I mean, that's so low. 646, guys, is ridiculously low. So if I can get a dip buy, back on down towards this lower shadow, I will definitely take that and be happy with that. So NEXI, let's see if I can get filled on this play. See if we get another kind of little, double bottom right next to this red line. So I would like to see pullback, little double bottom, bounce back on up, be able to make a little bit of money there. We are watching NEXI at this time. That play, absolutely awesome squeeze. That play, absolutely awesome move there. Love to see that, kind of get such a nice move at this time. And NEXI traders, this is one that is shortable. A lot of people are going to try to go ahead and pull the trigger on the short side on this. I still think there is a little bit more room to run. I would like to try to get filled near a bottom, do a few entries across the bottom, and then be able to get filled. So I want to kind of like spread out my entries. Do some entries in the teens, do some entries at 790, do some entries at the 811s. So I just got filled on my first entry right here, 819. 819, 250 shares. That's basically saying, Deck, why'd you just get filled at 819? That's going off the double bottom. So what I mean by a double bottom is that I'm seeing that we had one bounce play right around that 815-ish mark. Second bounce play right around that 815-ish mark. I just went 819, and that's where I was able to get filled. Now what I'm looking for is a nice big green candle all the way back up towards $9 plus. And if I can get filled with that nice big green candle all the way back up towards $9 plus, I can take my gains right there and just be happy. So guys, this is maybe what I'm talking about. You know, NEXI, nice green candle so far. Can we be able to kind of extend that on up? Right now we're up 87, $107. Now we're up 80, a nice little move over on this play. So this is a $2,000 investment right here. And let's see if this can be able to pop on up towards, $9 plus. So let's see, can we be able to pop on up towards $9 plus? We can see NEXI, we did have the perfect entry right at 819. Trying to get filled here to see if we can be able to get that move. Might have to wait for one more candle. Little pullback, guys. I don't know if I like this low upper shadow here. Notice how we still have a little bit of that downtrend. See how we have that little bit of a downtrend? Most likely what could happen is we have this. We might get a drop back on down, find like the wedge, and then be able to squeeze in like 10 to 20 minutes. Notice how we are still holding this little double bottom area. Traders, I'll be honest, if we do not break this wedge within the next few moments, I will just say take your gains and move on. Even if it's something little, if that red line breaks, it's not going to be fun. Okay, I'm telling everyone that right now. If that red line breaks, it's not going to be fun. Deck, how do we not break that red line? Break the orange line. Break that orange line, and we will be good. If you cannot break that orange line, it will not be fun. Here comes the orange line break. Guys, orange line starting to break, and we're actually starting to go underneath it a little bit. Stay ready on this. Be ready to sell if you need to. So right now, we're trying to break that orange line. We're trying to break that orange line. If you see 850 or lower, get out. Guys, I'm taking my gains right here. It had an upper shadow, and it's going back underneath the orange line. So, hey, I'll take it. $106. We're up $423 on the day. So, I'm going to take my gains when I have them right here. Nothing wrong with that. NEXI. Great job for those that got filled right around 819, 820 with me. We did basically get the perfect entry, and we are breaking that orange line now. Orange line is now trying to hold up as support. Support is now at 850 over on NEXI. NEXI trying to hold on up. Next leg of $9 break. We could see the next leg. So we break $9, guys. Potential for next leg on up. So we are still watching this here. Underneath the orange line, we don't like it. Underneath the orange line, we do not like it, guys. That's one of those things. Underneath the orange line, we do not like it. We basically have our entire guide for us. All right, we have our guide. Let's just kind of connect some of these dots even more. So we kind of have the best overall wedge for us. We're connecting the lower highs and the higher lows here. So we're connecting the lower highs and we're connecting the lower highs and higher lows. And we are still watching this. We have NEXI still trying to get that squeeze. How's SID do? SID was done with, and that's okay if SID was done with, because there was no shares available short anymore. DYN traders can actually turn and start dumping all the way back on down, which I think it will. If anyone's interested in another short, DYN is actually a great one. And NEXI, though, is just getting ready for another possible squeeze. Another possible squeeze here. Caesar, don't want to cut you off.
Yep.
What are you doing at this moment? Are you saying, hey, no more trades, looking to re-enter, waiting for a better position? Where are you at?
I'm sitting on my hands. I'm going to wait until the Fed minutes comes out, because right now it's just I've gotten stopped out several times. I was in profits, and I didn't take anything, and it just quickly turned around. So I actually ended up killing the trade before it stopped me out. And now I'm just going to wait and see what it does until this afternoon.
Gotcha.
So just sitting on my hands for now.
I think that the SPY, I think we're going down to 467. That's where I see a lot of support. Bounce play here, bounce play here. I think 467 is honestly going to be the best area for a possible dip buy. That's kind of just where I'm at. That's kind of my thought process. And I think there is some opportunity to be able to see that thing, another $2 drop. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards at this moment, taking a look over on the S&P 500. So S&P 500, I actually do like that a lot, guys. I'm actually thinking about doing a put contract. What's today? The 3rd. I'm going to go with a January 5th. Put myself slightly out of the money. Put contract. And I'm not going to do anything ginormous. Maybe 25 contracts. And actually look to see if this one could be able to crack underneath that 469.25 mark. And what is that? $17,000 investment right here. Are we going to see this thing, get the crack? I actually do think we will, but I'm going to actually go a little bit smaller and then just like add as we go. So I'm actually thinking about switching over to an option contract here, team. I'm actually going to go a little bit bigger with my time decay though, like January 10th. Go a little bit larger, kind of get myself out there. And I want to wait just a little bit more here and to see if this thing is going to get that nice turn. I think in maybe 5 minutes, we're going to see that next leg on down and actually see us go lower. I really do. I think we're going to go even lower, down towards around 467. This was something I actually put out in our morning newsletter today, where we do have put contracts. 467 is going to be the goal, and see if this thing can be able to turn and get that mean weakness that we really all want to see. Give myself a lot of time. Don't want to do any sort of same-day expiration. But when I wrote this on out to you guys this morning, it was, I do not think we fall into a recession or anything along that, but a healthy pullback will happen. What I'm looking for is as for today, watch for a bounce at 467. This is the next level of support I see. So I still think we have a little bit more room to be able to fall and then be able to get that drop. NEXI team coming all the way back up towards around $9. NEXI coming back on up towards around $9. 5 contracts over on the SPY right here. We might get one last little pop on up. I think just stay smart on it. Kind of slow and steady. Let's see. Still watching the SPY. January 10th here. I just think maybe one last little pop on up and then, it starts turning. I just see that.
What do you mean me, personally? Are you referring to Apex?
Can easily get that kind of crack on down towards the bottoms. If it does pop on up, 469.65. It's kind of like that top area right there in case we do get a little bit of a pop. Yeah, buddy, trades doing amazing so far this year, even though it's been 2 days. Wrapped up December as one of my best months. Take care, traders. See you tomorrow. Woo! Amazing job. Yeah, buddy, trades. So pumped to have you here as well. Guys, I'm loving how everyone's kind of starting off their year on the green. Guys, SPY not in on this play. Happy I didn't pull the trigger just yet. I want to see if it gets rejected at this reversal area.
I've been
Also,
fully
here,
since
go back over to the here.
May of last year.
Another squeeze. So NEXI is still trying to get some squeezes.
So May of last year was my 4th month, so I'm not in that camp. I do have 2 that I'm looking to finish this week.
So far as 943. Most likely going to fall on down.
So not all 20. For the all 20 accounts, the 4th month will be February.
NEXI, if you guys are interested in looking for shorts over on this play, they are available to short. And this is one of those plays that definitely can make you a good amount of change if you're willing to pull the trigger on this and be able to get a nice little profit. It looks like it's going to start fading on down. NEXI looks like it's on the verge of getting a little bit of that crack. Looks like it's on the verge of getting a little bit of that dump here. So NEXI, just be ready for that for all traders. I might get ready for some possibilities of this dump that I think is going to happen. So NEXI here, team. Get ready for the possible turnaround, that possible reversal. Probably going to go to another candle coming up here pretty soon. Don't go without me. Don't go without me. Oh, it's starting to go without me. So that's kind of what I saw coming over on NEXI. I kind of started seeing that this was going to start getting weaker. At least come down to the purple line, right? That's kind of what I was at. That we were at least going to come down to the purple line. Now the big question is, can you break the purple line? Right? That's the next big question. Can you break the purple line? Can we actually see this fall underneath the purple line? So NEXI traders, as you guys can realize, we actually are getting weaker. We are starting to fade and fall. And look at NEXI at this moment. NEXI deck, how low can this go on down towards? Probably that 740-ish mark. That's going to be like the next area. That 740 area is going to be like the next target for your shorts. We might get a little bouncing though off that purple line. What's the SPY doing? SPY actually bounces back on up right here. SPY, a little bit of a bounce back on up.
Yes.
Caesar just sitting back right now, bud?
Yep, still sitting back waiting. Yeah, now I definitely want confirmation before I re-enter a long.
I feel you there. I feel you there. I mean, I
Yeah,
just feel like it's gonna get it. I think it's gonna get slightly rejected right underneath that VWAP area. If I had to take a guess.
yeah. Usually Fed days tend to be something like this. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, pretty good movement, just not in the direction that I was expecting. But normally like Fed days, it tends to be a bit sluggish. So
Yeah. SPY. I want to see just one more little pop. Give us a little pop back up towards again this 469-ish mark. See if that thing is going to start getting weaker. Any XI traders, for anyone that did grab shorts on this play, I do think you are going to be able to get paid. I think you're going to have some resistance back up towards around like 820, and then you have room to fall all the way on down towards the VWAP. Room to fall all the way on down towards the VWAP, which is going to be solid. I want to see any XI though, if it could pop itself back on up towards like 815, 820, that region. If it can, I definitely would look for a quick entry over on NEXI. I would like to see NEXI, back get a little bit of a pop so I can get filled. I think this is going to fall all the way down towards the low $7. So if I can get filled SPY, still think the SPY is going to get maybe a little pop. NEXI, that's been the hottest play. UK right here starting to fade. We're just kind of looking to see which ones have the most volume. Most volume, most attention. What's DYN doing? DYN just moving a little sideways. That has the potential to really go either way. I'm just being honest with you. Might see a potential pop back up towards the VWAP. Might get a little crack back on down towards $12. Doug, what do you think about QQQ? QQQ, it just basically is an ETF that follows the S&P 500. So, it's a great way to be able to trade. You follow the SPY, QQQ is going to basically be doing the same exact thing. Caesar, do you have anything to say about QQQ? Why would a trader want to trade this one rather than the S&P 500?
Yeah, so QQQ is it's the Nasdaq, the tech sector. So if you're seeing that the tech sector is dropping and you want to be able to participate in it, not having to like be in individual stocks, the QQQ is what you want to trade. And then if you don't want to short and you just want to take longs, you can trade the S triple Qs, which is the inverse of the QQQs, meaning when the QQQs are going down, S triple Q is going up. When the triple Qs is going up, the S triple Qs are going down.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Guys, full of information. And the XI trader is still watching this one. See if this one is going to pop itself on up a little bit. We can get a little bit of that gain on up towards that, like 830-ish area. Could be very solid for us to be able to get ourselves involved on some little shorts here and there. So I'm still sitting back. We got a nice $423 profit so far. $423 in profit. EJH, this little heads on up, has been getting destroyed. EJH has gone from $3.77 all the way down towards $1.37. So that one's been getting extremely weak. Seems like right now, if you guys want to continue to trade SPY, it might be your only option. Where unless NEXI makes a move, and unless you want to take a little bit of a gamble over on DYN. These are kind of your only options at the moment. We got DYN, which has been an amazing short throughout the day. We have ABVC, we're kind of keeping on our back burner. SIDU, guys, little heads on up, SIDU. Anyone realizing that play? Look at this, SIDU, guys, trying to maybe steal the show. This could be a sleeper pick all of a sudden running all the way back up towards $12 plus. So if this one starts getting some hype and momentum, this thing could start really taking on off over on SIDU. What this one needs to do is probably, I'm going to just kind of connect some dots here. SIDU, guys, SIDU is starting to get a little bit of momentum here. SIDU is trying to get a little bit of momentum. There is the potential that if we start breaking through this downtrend, there is potential. If we start breaking through that downtrend, if I would say 1130, 1140, SIDU can pick up very quickly. Okay? So SIDU, watch for maybe that big squeeze that could happen. It is starting to already get a little bit of that squeeze. Guys, SIDU, keep this one on high watch and high alert for anyone that's interested on it. High watch, high alert if you guys are interested on this one. We're all the way up towards 1149. I kind of want to see this, hold as a confirmation candle. Confirmation candle means it's not just an upper shadow that goes right back on down. I want to see that this holds above this downtrend and we can actually start picking back on up. Watch for the 1150s to take over the bids. Notice that this thing is trying to grind all the way on up, traders. This thing is, holding up very, very, very well right here. SIDU, for anyone that's involved on it, not bad whatsoever. If you want to be as smart as possible, look to do a limit order back on down near the orange line. Limit order back on down near around the orange line is going to be back on down towards like 1120-ish, maybe 1115. So if you want to try to get filled, at that orange line area, 1120, 1115 is kind of like your best bet to try to get some sort of dip buy if we do get a quick pullback. Okay, so you get a quick little pullback. That's kind of like the area that most traders are going to be focusing on. Also, we don't want to forget that NEXI, that one could always just go on some sort of big pop all the way back on up as well. So I do have a few orders ready to go. I have NEXI. I want to see if that one can pop back up towards like 830 and then get a rejection. I am watching SIDU, which is on the verge of getting a huge spike on up. Notice we did just get that pullback. We got that pull. There it goes. I did not get filled over on SIDU. SIDU, guys, this one is trying to spike at this time. We have not broken the high of the day. Not breaking the high of the day does lead to a lot of pullback sometimes. It is trying to get a very nice spike. What's the high of the day? 1235. We are almost sitting right at resistance right now. So we're sitting almost right at resistance at this moment. Right at resistance, SIDU. Notice we broke that downtrend. Green candle, green candle, green candle. I did have orders at the price of around 1120. You can see we came back on down towards like 1130. So we did not come all the way back down through that orange line, but we did just have a very nice move over on SIDU. SIDU, very nice move, very nice opportunity, very nice spiking so far. This is the most active play. SIDU, the most active play right now. What's the SPY doing? Where are we at over here? With SPY, a little bit of a pop on up. Again, I still think it has room to go on down towards what? 467 is what I'm thinking. 467 is what I'm thinking we are going to fall on down to today over on the SPY. What's like Tesla doing? Tesla trying to hold up its gains here slightly. Can we connect some of these dots? Tesla, that could be a nice feeder if it falls back underneath that downtrend. So you do got a couple ones here. We got a couple plays here. We got Tesla trying to hold. We got SIDU, which is the hottest play of the day. And we also have NEXI right now, traders. NEXI going on a little bit of a pop. But NEXI, keep on getting this momentum. Got all the way up towards around 820. If NEXI goes back underneath, I'm going to say $8, it might be worth a short. You want to try to maybe grab shorts as high as you possibly can. Maybe up towards like, 850 all the way up towards, 860. I don't want NEXI to be one of those that randomly squeezes later on today. We know it, we know those type of plays. We know those plays can sometimes get a little out of hand and sometimes get a little crazy. This purple line, traders, so we just want to continue out with this purple line. That's like all the way up towards around that $9 mark here. So we got SIDU we're watching. We got NEXI we're watching. We got two plays that definitely have potential to be able to make us some nice money and be able to make us some nice cash. And SIDU, we cannot short. The only thing we can do on SIDU is go long. NEXI, we can look to short. NEXI, probably at the purple line, would be the best area for a short. So if you're looking, NEXI team, that's all the way up towards like 885 at this point over on that one. So NEXI, next area that you could look for a short that you could maybe feel confident in is all the way back on up towards that purple line. That's up towards like, 889-ish. See if that one can get one of those quick little squeezes and spikes all the way on up. Right now, NEXI looking for that break of 850. SIDU deck, what time did that get halted at? Let's go over to NASDAQtrader.com/trading halts. SIDU 1034, 27 seconds. If it is a 5-minute halt, I'm going to give everyone a heads up. We have not been seeing a lot of 5-minute halts on SIDU. There has been one, but there has been 2 10-minute halts. So it could be a 10-minute halt. Let's just be aware of that. 1039 and 27 seconds. 1039, 27 seconds. That is what we're looking for next. So SIDU deck, where can we go ahead and trade that play? SIDU, we want to be as smart as we can. Okay? This play, it is slightly above its open, or it's high. A lot of times, it does lead to pullbacks. I would probably say the best area for a quick entry is going to be somewhere around 1150. Okay? SIDU, when this one opens on up, watch for entries all the way down from 1110 to 1150. I think that we are going to see, if there will be,
it's looking like it. I mean, slowly moving down. London should be closing soon.
Drop and a pullback.
Well,
down
11, so we got about a little over, under 30 minutes left.
We're seeing a drop and pullback down towards around this mark. That's where you want to put your entries. That's where you want to be looking for potential entries. So I would want to do SIDU, do a limit order, and I would want to do entries all the way on down towards, 1111, right? We could do 250 shares. We could do entries at 1119. We could do 250 shares. We could do 1124, 250 shares. We could do 1130, whatever. Just, I'm throwing out random numbers between these. These are all areas that we can get filled for the possibility that we spike all the way back on up and we go all the way, back up to above $12, right? So SIDU, let's see if we can get filled in between this mark and then be able to get a bounce play back on up and maybe run all the way up towards the new high of the day. SIDU, this one could be getting unhalted right now. SIDU, guys, SIDU, we are unhalted. I am not in on this play though yet. I am not in on this play. SIDU it's spiking still. Still spiking, still holding its gains. It's LULD is at 1160. That might change. SIDU, guys, is having a lot of potential right now. SIDU, traders, how high can SIDU go up to? Ultimate target today, 19 bucks. Ultimate target on SIDU is the $19 region. That is the goal on SIDU. Goal is all the way up towards 19 bucks. That's where traders want to push this all the way up towards. So if you guys are interested on that, that definitely has potential. Little heads on up, NEXI traders is starting to die. NEXI is starting to die. If you guys want to get involved over on that play, you definitely can as well, as that one should be able to fade all the way back on down towards around that VWAP area over on NEXI. That one's probably going to find a little bit of support, probably hold on up right around like that 775-ish mark, sit there for a little bit, then fade all the way back on down. Probably will get some sort of short on that play in the future. So NEXI probably going to jump in on some sort of short just because it's known to give so much of its gains back. And I do think that one could be very nice. SIDU, on the other hand, where are we at right now? LULD is at 1149. What did we just come on down to? We just came on down towards 1150 real quickly on that big pullback. So that one, traders, still trying to hold up its gains. SIDU. Can this one kind of get that spike? Came on down towards 1150. We're trying to find, what's the best entry over on this thing. How are we going to be able to make money on this thing? Right now, I'm already up $423 on the day. So I'm really trying to be very selective on how I'm going to pull the trigger. The LULD is at 1138 in case we do start dropping. Guys, we are starting to drop right now. New entries probably back on down towards, I think we're going to hit the Holt area in a second. I'm not getting filled right here, team. I'm not getting filled right here if we hit this Holt area. I'm not going to get filled if we hit this Holt area and just start fading right back on down. It wouldn't be worth it to get filled. NEXI starting to build these lower highs. Probably going to get some sort of pop back up towards 780, 790, and then probably start fading back on down. NEXI, if you're looking for a little bit more of a trade, that's probably the one that you want to be looking at. NEXI, maybe a little bit of a pop, and then a nice little fade back on down towards that VWAP would be the goal. Also, where's the SPY at? SPY right now. Traders.
Still
SPY
dropping.
starting to get lower. Yeah, SPY starting to get lower. So the SPY right now, traders, about to, again, I think, even get towards some lows. 468. Yeah, that one had a nice little drop right here. And I still think it's going to be very slow and steady all the way on down. I'm just going big expiration date. Big expiration like January, let's go January 16th. Put contracts, 469. 25 contracts. I'm looking to see if this is going to be able to just fade even more. 467 would be the ultimate target on this play. And we have just been watching this one hold itself. How much is this going to cost? 36,000. That's a little pricey. Caesar, are you just kind of sitting back right now, just saying,
Yep.
I'm good?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm just patiently waiting. We got about 15 minutes before the London session closes. Might see a little pop, but I'm still gonna wait until after that Fed minutes come out for me to trade if I even see an opportunity. If not, I'm just gonna sit on my hands and wait until tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah, right here. This, I just think that blue line 467 is 467 is going to be the target still for today. I feel like a lot of traders are going to say, all right, that's the main support line. That's where we can go on down towards. Is Tesla still falling? No, Tesla's still trying to hold up its gains slightly. S&P 500 right here. Also, where's NEXI? Guys, NEXI, probably going to start looking for shorts on this play pretty soon. Guys, NEXI, I just got filled on my first little short. So NEXI, this is one of those plays that does have this very nice downtrend. And if I can, I'm going to look to hold this play over NEXI probably like throughout lunch hours. So NEXI getting a little bit of action. Deck, what would be like the best entry? As close as you can get to $8, the better, over on NEXI. And I just want to see if NEXI is going to get a little bit of a pop and then a slow fade all the way back on it. So NEXI traders, I did just enter on a small short. And I want to basically, watch this, see if it's going to slowly fade all the way back on down, basically consolidate in like the 780s and then, kind of fade its way all the way back down lower and lower and lower. So NEXI, I'm going to give that one a chance and watch to see if that one can little climb with little pops. So NEXI traders, give that one a chance, as I do think if I take a look at past chart history pattern, I don't even think it would spike again. You could see, look at this, very big spike, gave back most of its gains. Very big spike, gave back most of its gains. You can see right here, NEXI, very big spike, gave back all of its gains. NEXI, very big spike, gave back all of its gains. NEXI, very big spike, gave back all of its gains. So I'm kind of just watching to see if NEXI is going to do something similar, especially over the next few hours, which is going to be a little spike on up and then give back all of its gains. It fades all the way down towards, again, that $7 mark. So right now, I do have an entry price right at $7.81, and I just want to see if this is going to be able to just fade and fall and drop all the way back down towards $7, and just keep getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And this is one of those plays that I would just watch and wait, throughout lunch hours. If it ever started getting, I would say, back above the price of like, if it ever started breaking like 840, definitely not worth it to hold because it could squeeze. If it ever started getting back above the price of like 840, definitely wouldn't, be looking at this one anymore. This would be above this line right here is the stop loss. Okay. So you can jump in right now, look to be able to make a little bit of money. Above that red line is the stop loss. Above that red line is where there's no reason to keep on holding. You could possibly get squeezed out of that play. Okay. So I just want to make that clear, make that easy for everyone to understand. Go from there. We do have a nice little downtrend, so you guys can see downtrends. You guys can see we have our bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. If you break the downtrend and you break the bounce play, which is going to be resistance, you basically have clear skies all the way up towards around $9. If you stay underneath the bounce play, if you stay underneath the downtrend, we have room to potentially drop all the way down towards $7, which could be very nice. So fall all the way down towards around $7, be able to make a nice profit. Fall all the way on down towards $7, be able to make some nice money. So that would be the goal there over on that play. And we can be able to add shares all the way up towards around that 840 mark if we need to. Let's go back over to SIDU. SIDU. SIDU still holding right around 1150. SIDU trying to hold right around that 1150-ish mark. That's the target and the goal right there. 1150. Things are definitely slow. It's starting to get to the slower point. How's the SPY still? SPY, a little bit of a climb. SPY right now. I'm watching that one closely. You guys know I want to short that. You guys know I'm definitely interested on that short over on the SPY. And it's just by looking at the past chart history pattern. Guys, if you guys just go ahead, take a look at the past chart history pattern. Just everyone focus on this daily chart right here. Where did we fall on down and bounce to? 467.25. Where did we fall on down and bounce to? 467.75. So right here, we still have, I think, at least another dollar. I still think we have at least another dollar before we say, all right, hey, we are at that blue line. Hey, we are again touching that area. So I do think we have about another $1, you know, to be able to fade, to be able to fizzle out, to be able to fall a little bit.
Right, all right.
SPY, still very close, getting weaker. Also, 11 o'clock, we have the London session close. You know, and we usually see, you know, some good action, some good movement, you know, in the market right at 10 o'clock, right at 11 o'clock, right at 12 o'clock. We usually do see a lot of, you know, quick action, a lot of quick movement around that time.
Correct. Oh. Let's see.
Let's see here. Still sitting back waiting. Got an email here. Let's see. There's one guy I follow in the crypto world who's usually pretty good with his crypto. And he just sent out an email saying this is the next 30x cryptocurrency. Let's see. He says the next 30x cryptocurrency is ASTO. The ASTO token is my next major investment. I'm setting my sights on ASTO token for some very compelling reasons. This token is just not another player in the crypto space, probably is. It's positioned to converge two of groundbreaking narratives that are expected to take the world by storm. AI agents. Okay, that sounds a little creepy, like the Matrix, and crypto gaming. The rise of AI technology is undeniable. ASTO is right there. And gaming, an industry set for exponential growth, blending the thrill of gaming with the innovation of cryptocurrency. My investment approach, I'm not just bullish on ASTO token, I'm backing it up with every action. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't even know what ASTO token is, but you know what? We can go ahead, check it on out real quick. I always like to just be aware. I like to hear what people are talking about. I like to be in the space. I like to be, again, creeping around corners, you know. That's the type of guy I am, guys. I'm the type of guy that, again, I'm sitting behind the building, behind the brick wall as two people speak. I'm the type of guy that, again, falls in love with a woman and follows her around without her knowing. I'm the type of guy to get the details, get the information, you know? All right, maybe not the second one. That was a little bit weird. But
Okay.
let's see what we have here over on ASTO.
Do you have any exposure on crypto?
What?
Do you have any exposure on crypto?
No, I don't. No, not right now.
Not even the XRP?
No, not XRP. XRP has such a big market cap. It's just too. I think it's gonna be too hard to move. It's ginormous. It's gonna like you need so much volume. So it's like like these huge like I like XRP, I really do. But it's such a big market cap. To move the play, it just takes so much.
Okay.
But I like it. I do like XRP. I have no hate on XRP at all.
All right.
Okay. I'm not hating it.
Oh no, you can't hate on XRP. It's one of my favorites. XRP, Algorand, Cardona, Polygon. So like there's a few that has to do like with the whole meta space, well, the virtual reality space. Yeah. But XRP is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, we're getting close to that virtual reality space type of deal. You know, it's especially, you know, Meta and the metaverse and everything that they're creating over there.
Yeah. Virtual real estate.
Oh man, that was virtual. I mean, like metaverse real estate, or like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, like metaverse real estate. Like people were literally purchasing, or individuals have invested heavily in purchasing virtual reality real estate space, which
I remember that from like Sandbox and those different places, and I mean, people are spending $300,000, $400,000 like houses
Yeah,
in the metaverse.
yeah,
It's kind of crazy.
yeah. And I was just like, wow, like, when it comes to the digital worlds, like it can always be created. I mean, versus the actual physical world. So it was just crazy to see the amount of numbers
Oh
people
God,
were throwing.
I was so close to spending about $300,000 in on a real estate in the metaverse. So close. And I would have cried. I would have cried. Guys, all heads on up. NEXI really quickly. Just want to make sure everyone understands this. This is the power of wedges. And then next, I'm going to say 5 minutes. NEXI, we're going to see a big green candle, or NEXI, we're going to see a big red candle. Hopefully, it's that big red candle, but you can see NEXI building these lower highs. We're getting very, very tight here. I do think in the next few moments, we might see a quick little spike, then a dump. That's going to be the main idea out of this play. But yeah, so the whole idea, okay, this like for anyone who does not understand, and hold on a second, I want to see if NEXI, let's just see this thing go, and then I'll explain what my thought process was. NEXI traders, I would look to add if this spikes on up towards 840. If this spikes up towards around that 840-ish mark, I would say to myself, all right, hey, this is a good opportunity. If we could see this thing squeeze and pop on up, but once again towards that 840-ish mark, we're back on up towards around $8. Hold on, if this goes back underneath the purple line, I want to see this back underneath that purple line area. I don't want to see this squeeze and break above that 840-ish mark. Got to be careful here. Be careful here on this play. We don't want to get squeezed out on a wedge. We want to see basically drop right back on down into this, purple trend line. This wedge is very, very close, though. We got to be careful. It does get a little pop right here. That's fine. And we want to drop right back on down. So you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Starting to get a little bit of a break at this moment. Might just kind of say, hey, surrender this loss here. And then, look to get in a little bit higher potentially. I just don't want to get caught up if this thing goes on a little bit of a squeeze. NEXI right now, traders. Oh man, NEXI, I mean, it's going to give back its gains in time. That's the thing about this play as well. Like, NEXI is going to give back its gains in time. NEXI is going to get ugly. NEXI is going to, I mean, just take a look at the past chart history pattern. Past chart history pattern. We have a spike, it gives it all back. Spike, it gives it all back. You see right here, spike, it gives it all back. Every time NEXI goes on a spike, it gives back all of its gains. Right? So that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is every time it goes on a spike, it gives back all of its gains. NEXI is back inside this little tiny wedge at this moment. Let's see if this thing can start, kind of getting a little bit of a fade. NEXI, we start going underneath 780. I'm going to start hammering down some shorts. See if I can, add to the momentum of the selling. So NEXI, we are right on down towards that area. NEXI, can we crack that 780 mark and actually get a little dump, guys? NEXI, so close to getting the sell-off. So close, guys. Adding a little bit right here. See if we get the sell-off here. See if we get the sell-off. I got 1,200 shares at this time. I want to see, can we be able to get that dump right now? 780 dump, that's what we want to see. 780 dump right in the wedge. 780 dump in the wedge, down to the VWAP is the goal. 780 dump with the VWAP wedge. Come on. Let's see this crack here. See if this thing can actually fade. See if this thing can actually, get that dump that we want to see. Oh man, it's so close. It's so close. Give us one little green candle back on up and then give us the sell-off. Basically take, one step back, take 2 steps forward on the downside. So I want to see maybe a little pop on up, kind of get the slingshot. We're very close to getting that red candle right here, that kill candle. Whenever you see wedges, guys, this is so important to be able to learn. Whenever you see wedges in the stock market, it's going to be a time that money can be made. Now, being able to figure out if it's going to go on a huge spike or a huge jump is going to be tricky at times. But what can give you hints is which way is it leaning towards. We have this wedge. We're starting to crack underneath the wedge. If all of a sudden people start getting scared, they're going to sell this off right down towards around 725, 710. So right now I am leaning towards the short, 1,200 shares on the short side at 779, just waiting for basically the fear to come on in. Once again, fear comes on in, we go underneath 760, we are going to start seeing that weakness. So we're at 765, 750, 740. That's kind of what I'm talking about, guys. We're starting to get this weakness, starting to get a drop. We're up $372. Now, again, let's see if we can go back on down here. and see if we can go underneath that 750-ish mark. So we do have a lot of weakness, which is great. We had a nice little crack right here. Can we get weaker? Can we keep on fading? It's holding on up. We got the bids at 760. We got to go underneath 760 again. Can the bids go underneath 760? That's obviously the big question. If we can't go underneath 760, you can just take your profits and run away and be a happy camper on the day. Nothing wrong being a little happy camper. Guys, 765, trying to hold on up a little bit right here. I'm just going to be a smart trader, locking my profits. All right, guys, I'm just going to lock in my profits, 316 bucks, just because we're not dumping huge at the moment. We might actually still get the dump, but you know what? I'm up $517. And I think I am good, guys. I think I am good at this moment. Just made $517 on the day. And now we're back-to-back $500. Back-to-back, making, on the green. Back-to-back doing shorts. Back-to-back, just making sure that we are using our head. Back-to-back $500 days. Being as smart as we can. The only trade I might look for, nope, SPY starting to get a little bit of a bounce play back on up. How's SIDU? SIDU at this moment, this one does not have any shares available to short at this time, so I really don't even want to get involved in this at this moment. All right. So team, I think I am pretty good to go at this moment, and no reason for me, I feel like, to hurt myself anymore. So we'll see what comes on up. But let's actually talk about this here for a second, guys. I want to go over just why in the world was I even interested in buying real estate in the metaverse to begin with.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to go over this for a second. Okay. Because before you guys think I'm crazy, you gotta think outside the box a little bit. Okay. So remember, in 2021, we started seeing everyone run over to the crypto world, right? Everyone was buying every cryptocurrency possible. Every single person was buying NFTs possible. And then that one thing started happening, that people were buying real estate inside of the metaverse. Now, what does that even mean? Well, what you need to understand is the metaverse is multiple different places. Each company could come up with their own metaverse. But you need to think about it as probably there would be one main metaverse that people would like to go to, that people would like to strap on a headset and would like to walk around and play in. And just imagine if as many people back in the 2021 world with crypto, with NFTs, with the hype, everyone was getting excited. If everyone did eventually start going into the metaverse. And I think, back in 2021, back in the early 2020s, people were getting ahead of themselves, saying that we were going to have this technology that we could fully immerse ourselves inside the metaverse. Now, it's slowly trying to happen, right? You guys have seen that video that I've talked about a bajillion times before, with Mark Zuckerberg, right? Mark Zuckerberg actually is creating the metaverse, and it's getting to a point that it's looking very real. Now, I'm going to still say it's probably still about, I'm going to go with 2 to 3, maybe 4 years away. But what can you guys see right here? Like, just listen to this.
Order filled.
Good freaking long. Just went long on ES.
So you can see this is definitely starting to get a lot of attention. This is starting to get a lot of hype. This is starting to get, where people are saying to themselves, wow, okay, this is, pretty nuts to think about. Now, obviously, what is the main goal? The main goal that Mark Zuckerberg is trying to create is going to be this right here. This is the main goal that Mark Zuckerberg is trying to create, where essentially you jump in to the metaverse and you can do whatever you would like. So what do you do here? You strap on again your goggles, and guess what happens? You can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. You can go whatever metaverse that you want to be at.
Very nice. Just you want to work on just getting 1% better each day, right? However small it is, you want to try to focus on getting 1% each day. So each day you want to just improve a little bit on something, whether it being, sitting on your hands more, or whether it's being disciplined to where
All
you only
right, so you
take
guys
one
can see
trade.
that at this time. And now I want to show you guys what is our metaverse at this moment. So our metaverse at this moment is basically this. All right. So if anyone's wondering, what does our metaverse look like at this moment? This is the idea here. All right. Now you might say, hey, we got some got a long way to go. But this is the metaverse at the moment. So, what are people doing? Or what did people do? People were saying, all right, this is the metaverse. This is where everyone's going to be, just like in Ready Player One, that movie. This is the oasis. This is where hundreds of millions of people are going to plug into. So, what did Sandbox do, which is a metaverse, to be able to get money? Well, Sandbox basically said, okay, we are going to sell, right? We are going to sell pieces of land. Now, what would that mean? That would mean that you could go ahead and do whatever you want. Remember, you can do whatever you want in the metaverse. You can open up a casino, you could open up a go-kart place, you could open up a grocery store, you could do whatever you want. Or you could also advertise. So imagine if every person plugged in, and maybe right here, there was a big sign that said AT&T. Maybe right here, there's a big sign that said, a Verizon. Imagine if there's hundreds of millions of people that went into the oasis, that went into the metaverse. And what did they saw? Well, they saw that, oh, buy AT&T, buy this, buy that. Well, if there's hundreds of millions of people are trying to say, oh, it's like buying New York City before the buildings are there. So that was the idea that people are trying to kind of put out there, that the metaverse is the next big thing. People are going to be going there. And obviously, you want to buy land there so you can sell it to these huge corporations that are going to want to advertise, or you could be able to make money. But that was the whole idea of the metaverse. But you can see basically the idea of Ready Player One, of strapping in and going into this complete world. That's probably, I mean, that right there, how far away in technology do you guys think that is?
10 years maybe?
50 years, right? I don't even know. Like that would be very, very, very far away. So I think people got excited by seeing that movie, hearing the cryptocurrency, hearing the metaverse, and saying, okay, this is what it's going to be. But we just don't have the technology to actually make that a reality at the moment. And that's basically why it kind of just all turned to nothing. So in time, I'm sure it'll be great. In time, I'm sure it'll be awesome. But it's just, not at this moment. So that's just what the future is, right? That's where we're at here. NEXI, nice little drop. Good thing we locked in our profits at this moment. Caesar, kind of any final thoughts here, buddy? Want to kind of let you go here pretty soon, but just want to kind of throw you out here. Any stocks, any tickers, anything that people should be watching, anything along those lines?
The one thing that I've been saying for people to keep an ear out for at least this year is the China Taiwan. Lately China's been hovering balloons over Taiwan. So I would say keep an ear out for that. And then as far as stocks, it's Intel. I mean, Intel I think is going to be the best value in the next 12 months. I mean, it's already been performing since last year. And then as far as the market overall, I think the first quarter we're probably just going to end up seeing just a nice downside so far. Next week we have CPI. So depending on what comes out this afternoon, I'll be able to further elaborate as to what we're going to see. But there's definitely going to be a lot of volatility this year, with interest rate cuts or not being cut, the market factoring 6 rate cuts, which is kind of like a double-edged sword, because if they do cut 6 times, something is broken. If they don't cut 6 times, the market's like, oh shit, we expected this, it didn't happen. So a lot of volatility. But stock wise, it's Intel.
What was that? All set?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's pretty much it.
Cool. I
Yeah.
just didn't want to cut you off if you saw something to say.
Hey,
Well,
nah,
hey,
thank you.
no, absolutely. Well, Caesar, absolutely awesome. And guys, remember, if you're liking what Caesar says and how he trades, he is live nearly every single day over on TradeCaster.com. Just go to the lobbies page. He is Caesar right here, futures trading with the Bulls. So make sure you guys are plugged in and watching him. He is live every single day. Make sure you guys go check it on out. And that is absolutely awesome. So
Yes.
Caesar, hey, thank you so much.
Oh, and one last thing.
Great.
One last thing. So starting today in the evening, starting today at 7 p.m., I will be hosting a free webinar on TradeCaster to help the traders with either learning more about charting, analysis, and maybe covering some fundamentals and technicals. So I'm starting that today. So once a month I'll be doing that on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. So tune in if you guys want to join.
I love hearing that. That is absolutely awesome. And really excited about it. So hey, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for all your work and everything that you do here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day, bro.
All right, shout out to you guys and everyone. If we could give a big thank you to Caesar. He's live over on TradeCaster every single day. Thank you so much. Have a good one. And
You too.
I guess we'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir. All right, later. All right. Ooh, look at you. I'm out of NQ. Nice. Good work. What's my TP on ES? On ES, I'm looking for a 4770 target. So I'm aiming for 4770. Once we get over 60, I'll look to add to my position, and then I'll take one off at 4770, and I'll try to leave a runner to like maybe 4780. But I don't particularly use the VWAP. The VWAP is not an indicator that I use. I know a lot of you guys in here use that, but for me it's not one of the things. I use strictly the EMAs, the 200, the 50, the 14, prior daily highs and lows, and then supply and demand zones. Let's see. This market's just been horrible for the longs. All right, guys. So any questions, feel free to ask. All right. Let's see. Got a couple questions here. When you come back at 7, is that here on TradeCaster? Yes. So what I'm going to do is I will be posting a Zoom link here on TradeCaster, so that way you guys will be able to ask questions. But I'll also be streaming as well, so anyone that can't join the Zoom will be able to participate and see the stream. So it's 7 p.m. Eastern, okay? All right, so let me stay on for another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna call it a day, at least until 2 p.m. See what the minutes do. Excuse me. I will be working. Maybe I'll try to get the stream. All right. For those of you guys that might be working, I will also do another one on Sunday. The one on Sunday will be at either 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern. All right, NVIDIA's catching a bit. AMD. ES is catching a bit as well.
Leslie, we are looking at fourth quarter results for General Motors. Sales increasing fractionally, up 0.3% for the fourth quarter for General Motors, capping a strong year for the company. Its U.S. market share increasing 0.3 of a percentage point, going up to 16.3% for all of 2023. One other note from
GM sales release, the company is forecasting that the U.S. auto industry overall will hit 16 million vehicles sold for 2024. By the way, 23, best sales since 19. They are going to be increasing up to 16 million. At least that's the estimate from General Motors for 2024. Guys, back to you.
All right, Phil, thank you very much, Phil LeBeau. Meantime, the Transportation Department ended 23 on a high note. Airline cancellations at a decade low. New rail programs, new low gas prices, improving supply chain. 24, though, bringing a full new agenda, tightened regulations for EV tax credits, escalating tensions in the Red Sea, of course, while juggling an election year. Joining us first on CNBC this morning is the Transportation Secretary, Mr. Secretary, great to have you. I guess first question is, what accounts for this cancellation rate?
Well, we've been pushing the airlines hard, especially after what we saw about a year and a half ago, where even on days when the weather was fine, there were unacceptable levels of cancellations and disruptions. We pressed them on realistic scheduling, we pressed them on staffing, and we made sure that we took steps.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me. I'll try to hop back on the stream at 2. But for the most part, I'm probably just going to call it a day. Red day for me today. Stopped out several times and then just killed the trade before it made a new low. Glad I did. So I'll see you guys later tonight. Peace.
In terms of cancellation.